I'm curious to hear a little bit more about, like, let's dive into like the TikTok strategy overall. Because thinking about Facebook, right? A lot of, at least the strategy that I would implement, it was all about testing a lot of variation and combinations of different copy with different interests, right? Run a ton of those, see what kind of numbers you get on all of them, and then it's like, all right, let's try to scale up the ones that are working. On TikTok, do you use like a similar method where, okay, you're testing a handful of different videos with a handful of different interests? Because the other thing that I've been hearing about lately is the broad targeting works really well on TikTok. Curious to hear what you've seen and like what type of strategy you use.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I fully agree with that, dude. Facebook, it's like Facebook, I look at the three different ad platforms in kind of three different ways. So like Facebook, it's a mix of obviously testing different creative, whether that's photo, video, short, medium, long-term copy, but it's also a mix of like gaming the algorithm, putting your settings properly, things like that. Like I got a whole like manual of just like different bidding strategies depending on what they're trying to do. Crazy. Like you got to like know the algorithm and know that back system in order to be like a really big expert on it.
Yeah.
YouTube, I find I'm not an expert on YouTube. I've spent quite a bit of money on it. I get results, but like I find that's primarily just finding the right audiences on YouTube. If you got a good ad that's working, you could like you're really just audience hunting, and that's all you really need to do to scale it up. Whereas TikTok, it's probably like, I look at it as like 90% is coming up with the creative. 90% is making different videos, and really like 10% is like clicking the buttons and setting up the actual ad. And what I've done that's worked incredibly well, and like I'll be 100% transparent, because yeah, I want to get these people value. That's why they're listening. Is like with my client, the ironic part is like I've been working with this client for 5.5 weeks now. They didn't even give me native TikTok content for the first 4 weeks. And it's been pulling teeth. The hardest part about TikTok is getting people to actually film the content. It's been like pulling teeth trying to get these guys to get me native looking TikTok content. So what we did is I took a handful of their old YouTube videos and I gave it to our video guy, and I had to have him edit it down to a minute. And then they had some other TikTok content on their TikTok page, but like really it was not like ad centric. I really just had to like slap some text over top of it just to like even kind of make it an ad and send a message on it. But that non-native TikTok content, the first 4 weeks I ran it, again, I look at everything based off the numbers, and I have a $200 CPA KPI for these people. It's a $17 front-end info product, but I can spend up to $200 for a purchase. And the first day I launched, I was getting like $80, $90 like CPAs. And I was just like, holy smokes. And like my other metrics were not even that great. I was still getting like dollar cost per clicks. My CPMs were like $25, $30, but they were still like just cruising along, cruising. Now, what I learned is my initial strategy that I launched, I did one ad. I essentially had like one ad, but 3 different variations of that ad. And so I'd like ad 1 with 3 different variations, ad 2 with 3 different variations. Then I had like 4 separate videos that were like their other kind of like TikToks. And I segmented it out. So I just picked 2 different audiences and then made 3 ad sets for each group. So it was like audience 1, ad 1 in the 3 variations, audience 1, ad 2 in the 3 different variations, audience 1, ads 3 through 6. I'm grateful for this client. They have a big ad budget. So I was just, I could kind of spend what I wanted. But I launched them all at like $200 a day. And they worked great for the first week, but here was the thing: is after day 8, and this is what I've learned with TikTok, if you do not set your budget to get those 50 conversions in that 7-day window for the learning phase, it will crash and burn. And that's exactly what happened to me. Everything crashed and burned. So then what I did after is I essentially just took the best performing ads from my initial tests, literally just threw them back in the same audiences, and then just like scaled the budget up, and I just started running it like a big enough budget for me to clear that learning zone, the learning phase. Mm-hmm. And then it ran for about another 3 weeks until the ad fatigue slowly started hitting. And I knew it was time to swap out creatives. And then, what was it, last week? Yeah, last week, The client finally got me back some new creative. Still not 100% TikTok. We finally got him to film me some videos in portrait mode. He didn't use TikTok though, so there's no jump cuts or anything, but it's just a minute video of him just talking to the phone. Then I had my editor just put in the text captions over top. And now we're getting like, and being honest, like today they're up to $80, but when I first launched them, we were getting like $40, $50 CPAs, and my CPMs were down to like $10, and my cost per click was down to like 50 cents. It's like
I'd love to hear that.
I feel like I haven't even cracked the case yet, man, because I still can't get my client to film me TikTok content.